be beginning from the Federal Ministry of Sports. Precisely, we'll be starting with the Minister of Sports, Senator John Owan-Eno, where he has actually taken a very good step where he promises to enhance football scouting regulations in Nigeria. When it comes to scouting, a lot of Nigerian players have suffered when it comes to scouting, football managers everywhere, those who don't even have license scouting for players, and they take them to obscure league in the world. You hear Nigerian players playing in Lithuania, Malta, some of these Moldova, North Macedonia, some of these leagues that are not even they are not even as good as the Nigerian Premier Football League. Now you see this scout taking these players abroad, and as you know, in this part of the world, we always want to just go out of this country and ply our football trade outside the shores of Africa completely. So now the minister has taken a very good step by setting this up, promises to look into the scouting regulations in Nigeria, which is a good one. If actually if this comes to bear, then it's going to help these young upcoming footballers in the country to know the right move and to get a good agent out there that can help them to nurture and grow their career to an enviable height. I have Abba Michael joining me on the show this evening. Abba Michael, welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. You did wonderfully well in the morning show. Now we are together in the evening. For the sports minister, he has promised to look into the scouting regulations in Nigeria. Do you support that move? Is it a welcome development by you?
Yes, definitely. It's a welcome development, and we must give him kudos, we must give him credit. He has been able to hit the ground running since he came on board. He has been taking drastic steps just to ensure that he takes sports to the next level. And I think reviewing these scouting principles will go a long way. We have so many players who want to answer Nigeria International, but then the modalities have not been properly put in place for them. So I believe that this is an opportunity for the players to get more recognition and more visibility, expand the scouting network so that we can have the best of the best of the players assembled at the end of the day.
Yes, the best of players to assemble at the end of the day. And for the sports minister, I think he has hit the ground running, like you mentioned, Michael. He has been looking at to see how Nigerian sports can actually grow fast and develop beyond where it is right now. And all we just need to do is for us to give him the support, let hands up be on deck, and then also the media should also give him that support to see how we can move Nigerian sports forward. Okay, let's leave the minister and talk about some boxing story, but now not in the ring. We are going to talk the administrative side, where our own Omuagwu has been re-elected, I beg your pardon, as the vice president for the African Boxing Confederation. This man, fantastic move, re-elected as the vice president, to an Ethiopian man. That name, if you hear the name, the Ethiopian man who is the president, if you hear the name Ahweye, that name looks so funny. But for our own Omuagwu, he has been re-elected as the vice president of African Boxing Confederation. Michael.
Yes, I mean, we are happy. Initially, the sports minister, John Owan-Eno, we saw him trying to expand the scouting network. I'm now the CEO Owan-Eno, or John, Senator John Eno, now doing the needful to support our own in administrative boxing. I mean, we hardly hear that a Nigerian is ever a CAF president or CAF whatever. We are always beneath within the relegation zone when it comes to administration, just the way we are on the pitch. But this time around, at least we have our own Omuagwu. There is a different Omuagwu, not the one that is in the National Assembly.
Yes, this one is a
different one. It's a different Omuagwu. He was actually an interim African boxing president before he got elected as the first vice president. We love it, and he gave all the credit. It all happened in Addis Ababa. We give the credit to John Owan, our minister, who is transcending the Nigerian continent, the Nigerian soil, I mean to say. He is showing that he can be more influential even as a minister to affect us, the Nigerian Sports Commission, positively beyond the shores of Nigeria. And now his massive support and backing has given Omuagwu the opportunity to be the first vice president. So more and more feathers has been added to the cap of our minister.
Yes, more and more feather has been added, and congratulations to Omuagwu for being re-elected as the first vice president of African Boxing Confederation. Okay, let's leave that story. Now let's talk about the NPFL. This time around, a team has incurred the wrath of the organizers of the Nigerian Premier Football League. Now, Sporting Lagos, that is the team, have been sanctioned and fined to pay 1 million naira for crowd violence for disrupting the game on match day 9 between Sporting Lagos and Heartland FC of Owerri. Now, these are some of, we don't really want this crowd of a team to disrupt the sweet movement, the sweet flow of the Nigerian Premier Football League. Now they have been asked to pay 1 million naira for that crowd disruption during the match day 9 fixture right there in Lagos.
Yes, I mean, earlier in the season, I think we had a team that was sanctioned. I don't know if it's Katsina.
Yes, Katsina United.
Also for a similar breach of protocol. It's becoming a recurring decimal. I mean, the teams need to put their security together. The fans have this tendency to go wild, go haywire once the events do not turn out positively in the way they want it. Perhaps it's because it got to the 97th minute. But then they need to understand that you don't go wild, else you'll put your team in trouble. It's even better they sanction the team $1 million naira. The more painful one is when they begin to deduct points. And deduction of points can send you, I mean, from Champions League to a relegation zone. And so the fans need to be more educated and know that they are stakeholders, and if they don't conduct themselves, if they don't abide by the code of conduct and ethics and football regulation as fans, they may end up being a source of deterrent to the teams that they are supporting. And so I expect the Sporting Lagos administration to ensure that they plant more security apparatus and personnel to ensure that this is minimized and going forward.
Yes, minimize, and that was what all other teams playing in the Nigerian Premier Football League should do. Security, maximum security. You don't see though we normally have crowd violence in Europe, but it's at the minimal level. But we still need to do more. We need to do more in the terms of crowd violence in the Nigerian Premier Football League. It's something that keeps reoccurring in the league, and it's not healthy for the development of the league. If you look at it, the Nigerian Premier League this season is a fantastic one. It's a good league, so let's see how we can stamp this out. All the 20 teams should at least lecture their fans, talk to them to conduct themselves on match day fixtures and match venues. They should know that football is either you win or you lose, and at the end of the day, if you don't win or lose, you probably play a draw. So let them just take it at heart and take it at its sports. Football is one unifying factor. Sports in general is a unifying factor. It's not an avenue for where we begin to throw punches and the rest. Okay, let's leave that story. Let's go back to the Globe Soccer Award 2023. We have another Nigerian. We talked about two Nigerians in the morning show. That is Asisat, Oshoala, and Victor Osimhen being nominated. Now we have another Nigerian nominated for a Nigerian who won this award previously. That is Victor Boniface. Both of them are Victor, and Victor Boniface has been selected for Emerging Player of the Year. Victor Osimhen was the last winner of this particular award. That is in the 2022 edition. Victor Osimhen won the Emerging Player of the Year, and now another Victor Boniface has been selected for Emerging Player of the Year 2023. That is the Globe Soccer Award. Michael, I think the two victors are doing so well.
Yes, they are victorious, no doubt. Perhaps more Nigerians, parents should begin to name their children Victor because the name actually counts when it matters. Victors have become victorious. Maybe from victor to victor. Victor won it last year. Another Victor may win it this year. But it may not be such an easy battle for Victor Boniface. Yes, we know he has had 21 goals, 14 assists in his last 45 games for both his last team and the currently Bayer Leverkusen. And then we also know that he has won Bundesliga Player of the Month, and he has won 3 Rookie of the Month awards, and that has earned him his first cap for Super Eagles against Sao Tome. He has gone on to have 4 more caps. But then he has a lot of young players to battle that award with. He has the likes of Jude Bellingham, Yamin Lamal, the Jamal Musiaida, I think of Bayern Munich also. Very young, promising players. Enzo Fernandez is also there. Casiero is also there. He may not be able to get that, but I tell you what, we are glad that he's in the conversation. We have a Nigerian in the conversation when you talk about emerging next world best. We have a lot of things to be happy about as far as football in Europe is concerned.
Yes, a lot of things Nigerians should be happy about as far as football is concerned in Europe. Okay, let's leave that story and now stay in Europe proper, where the Women Champions League games are already ongoing and some games will come up later. That is in Group A and Group B. Matches are being played right now, and some matches will be coming up later tonight, 8 p.m. Precisely. Let's look at the fixtures for the Women's Champions League. If we talk about the Men's Champions League, we also talk about the Women's Champions League. Now, in Group A, Benfica that lost their first game 5-0 thrashing in the hands of Barcelona. We be at home. That is Christy Uchebe's team. We welcome Rosengard Women of Norway and the Eintracht Frankfurt Ladies of Germany. We play host to Barcelona Femino from Spain. The first game between Barcelona Femino and Benfica ended 5-0 in favor of Barcelona, and then Rosengard and Eintracht Frankfurt Ladies, Rosengard winning that particular encounter. Now that game is on, that Benfica women against Rosengard, that game as we speak is ongoing, and then some of the other games will come up later tonight. Let's look at the fixtures in Group B quickly before we move over to the other stories we have on the show. Let's look at Group B fixture. We have Brand Women against Slavia Prague Women, and then Lyon Feminines. This team has won Women's Champions League more than any other team right there. They will be playing St. Pölten Women of Austria. So these are the fixtures of the Women's Champions League. The men also plays their own. The women are also playing their own. Now only Asisat Oshoala and Christy Uchebe will be in action today, and we know Paris FC women, that is for our own Chiamaka Nadozie, the Nigerian #1 goalkeeper. So those are the fixtures. You can pick, just watch any of the game you feel like watching. Christy Uchebe will be in action. Asisat Oshoala will be in action because their respective clubs are playing Barcelona and SL Benfica. Okay, let's leave that story quickly. Let's leave the Women's Champions League story. I know Abba Michael would love this. Let's talk about the NBA. There were games that were played last night in the NBA, that is basketball in Africa, the biggest franchise. Let's look at the result before Michael will react to it. Toronto Raptors lost to Orlando Magic 107 to 126 points. Cleveland Cavaliers beat Philadelphia 76ers 122 to 119, and Indiana Pacers beat Atlanta Hawks just 5 points, 157 to 152 points there. Portland Trail Blazers 107, and Phoenix Suns beat them 120 points. Utah Jazz 99 points, and LA Lakers beat Utah Jazz to 131 points. Michael, fantastic result. This is one of the sports I know you love so much. So let me allow you to react to this result quickly.
Yes, of course. The Los Angeles Lakers beat the Utah Jazz at 131 to 99. Let's not forget that history was made last night. LeBron James of the Los Angeles Lakers became the first player in history of basketball to score 39,000 points. That's a whole lot of points. But that's LeBron James. The NBA in-season tournament is ongoing right now, where every conference, the Eastern Conference, the Western Conference, are divided into 3. Each conference has 15 teams. So 5 teams will be matched against one another, and so on and so forth. That will happen in the East. You have 3 groups in the East and then 3 groups in the West, and that is what they are currently playing. But the big one for me was Phoenix Suns beating Portland Trail Blazers. Kevin Durant who I call the second best player in the world, was able to win, scored 31 points and 9 assists. That's KD for you, the most lethal player when it comes to scoring in history alongside Kobe Bryant. I mean, he was able to beat our Blazers despite just Grant's 26 points. I mean, we saw Cleveland Cavaliers able to beat the team that has the league MVP, Joel Embiid, Philadelphia 76ers. Darius Garland did a decent job. He's a point guard for the ages. He just came into the league 3 years ago. But look at what he was able to do to the defending most valuable player. Talking about Joel Embiid, who plays for Cameroon and now wants to play for the US. And then we also saw the most enterprising rookie. Talking about Victor Wembanyama losing to the Los Angeles Clippers. We saw James Harden, whom critics, analysts have criticized all season long. He was able to come out of his shadows. I think he was able to take down the most enterprising young rookie in the last 20 years since LeBron James. Talking about Wembanyama of France. I mean, the NBA games, the drama goes on and on. We saw our own Ochai Agbaji playing for the Utah Jazz. He was able to score. I think he just scored 3.7 points, which is very paltry for him. I hope the coach gives him more opportunities. Lauri Markkanen, the man for the ages, the most improved player in the NBA, plays for Utah, but he wasn't able to overcome the fiery furnace of Austin Reeves, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, all of the Los Angeles Lakers. If you allow me, I can talk about basketball all day long. So let me just leave it at that.
Yes, it was a very good game for all of the teams that played. For Phoenix Suns, Utah Jazz, Lakers, Philadelphia 76ers, where you have the MVP of the league last season, Joel Embiid. It was just not too good result for them. But let's see how it goes. Those were games that went down last night, and we expect firepower to continue in the NBA. Okay, before we go on the show, let's quickly look at these. Let's look at the Euro qualifiers. There were games that were played last night, and teams the likes of Portugal, Germany host have been confirmed to qualify Spain for the Euro 2024, but there were games also in the Euro 2024 qualifiers. We have Gibraltar lost to Netherlands 6-0. Greece and France played a 2-2 draw. Croatia won, Armenia 0, and that Croatia was able to qualify automatically. Wales and Turkey played out the 1-1, and for Wales, they will be playing the playoff. For Israel and Andorra, Israel beat Andorra 2-0. Kosovo lost to Belarus 1-0, and Romania beat Switzerland also 1-0 in the Euro qualifiers. And for Wales, Wales was at least expected to win that game, to take all the 3 points, but they played a 1-1 draw. All hope is not gone. All hope is not lost. They will go and play the playoffs. So those are the games that were played last night in the Euro qualifiers. Like I mentioned, we have a couple, more than about 60 teams who have already qualified automatically for the Euro 2024. France, Portugal, Germany, the host country, Croatia, all of these teams that I mentioned, and a couple of others have qualified for. Scotland, Spain, they've qualified for the Euro 2024 with automatic qualification. So the playoffs will resume next year, probably by March next year, where we'll have other teams that will join up to the already qualified teams. Okay, let's take this last one. Let's look at the fixtures that will be coming up today. Just one fixture, and is in the Copa del Rey in Spain, where Zamora FC will take on Villarreal. That is in the Copa del Rey in Spanish, in Spain. That is when we say Copa del Rey is a competition in Spain, just the way you have the Carabao Cup in England. All right, that is where we'll leave it on Sports Update. Abba Michael, thanks for joining me on the show this evening. Thanks for the wonderful analysis.
Yes, of course. I saw you in person for the first time last week. You look more handsome in person than on television. So glad to have met you finally.
All right, thank you.
Months.
All right, thank you for doing all of the wonderful job on our program. It's good to have you. And that is it on Sports Update. I am Emmanuel Fashimi saying thanks for watching.
Back in business.